Okay, this is the second video of a two-part video series. The first video is in the same YouTube channel that this video is in. This video and that video should be titled. If not, look for the YouTube video that is that states towards the middle of it that I'm gonna have to make a second video because the battery, the power bar on my video camera was flashing. When you watch that video, you'll know that this is the continuation of that one. Okay, I'm sorry, when you watch that video, you will then know that this video is a continuation of that one. Now, this right here is a snap screenshot of a book titled Electronic Torture, Electronic Rape, Technology, and Gang Stalking at the Post Office. Okay, it's written by a person by the name of Jewel Crayon. Okay, if anybody approaches me or this area as I'm making this video, no matter what they say or how they act, it will be gang stalking related. I have to make that prediction for security reasons. Stay with this video, you'll be glad you did. Trust me. Now this is a snap screenshot through Instagram. That's the Instagram account, okay, of a book that was written by a United States Postal Service supervisor, okay, who's being targeted with gang stalking, which is even mentioned in the title of the book. The author's name is Jewel Crayon, K-R-A-Y-A-N. So you can research this at Google, and I don't know if you can YouTube it or not. But what you want to pay attention to is the title of the book, Electronic Torture, and obviously the testimony in the book if you buy it. Electronic Torture, Electronic Rape, Technology, and Gang Stalking at the Post Office. Notice how gang stalking is mentioned there? Okay? Electronic Torture and Electronic Rape. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to minimize this so I can bring up some YouTube for you to look at in reference to its title. What do you see there? Remote neural monitoring, satellite harassment, terrorism, reality and awareness through the YouTube channel OS Informers. Now, I discussed this and showed this in the first video, so I'm not going to repeat my statements. But I will also show you to go to Google, or to go to Google and YouTube and type in these as well. Okay. Okay. Look at all these YouTube videos dedicated to this crime. Look at them. Do you really honestly think that all this is all over the internet because it's not happening? Okay. Look at it. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to literally play you two separate audio files. Now, the one you're about ready to hear is a segment of the YouTube video, which I'm going to bring up right now so you can see it. Hold on a second. Just bear with me one more second. Okay, because it applies to this video. It's part of this synthesis of the information in it. I'm bringing it up so you can see which one it is, so you can watch it in its entirety. You're getting ready to hear a segment of it in a second from my tape recorder. Okay? That's it right there. Okay? Connie Marshall is a targeted individual, and every single syllable that comes out of her mouth is the actual, literal, factual truth. So when you research what's happening to Connie, whatever you don't understand, okay, at any part of your research concerning what she's exposing, don't dismiss it. Research it instead. Do it. Okay? Now, this particular video right here, a segment of it, I taped the whole thing to my tape recorder, and then I taped also a segment of it to my tape recorder. I want you to listen to this segment of it, and then cross-reference it to the title of this book. Okay, listen to what she has to say.
However, they also attack if I am employed, and attack anywhere I go. Did you know that they are raping us? With this technology, they are able to intercept our minds and control our dreams. They usually make me and other women and men have pornographic dreams while they interact sexually with our minds and bodies through electromagnetic technology. Yes, they can move our private parts, all parts. My thoughts are also not private, as they are able to broadcast my thoughts, and they also attempt to replace thoughts. Mr. Obama,
Okay. Now, before I go on, just hear me out. Okay. I'm going to go right now into my email account. I'm going to make some statements while I'm looking for the particular. Also, go to YouTube and type in this title. That's got to do with heterodyning, concerning what can happen to an organized stalking, gang stalking target. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my email account. I'm going to make some statements while I'm looking for a particular email file. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to play that section, okay, of the YouTube video that you just heard. Okay, now, fellow American citizens, targets of organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking, okay, are victims of specific targets are victims of non-consensual human experimentation, military included. Okay, make no mistake about it. So when you research that at Google and YouTube, you'll be able to clearly see that I'm telling you the truth. Now hold on, alright, here it is right here. Now I want you to look, once I bring this article up right here, Google this right here. Secret DARPA Mind Control Project Revealed Leaked Document. I'm going to press on it right now. It's through Nexus Illuminati. Just do what I tell you to do and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. Now, this right here, there's the webpage that it comes from. Okay. Now I want you to look at this. It was published on Saturday, the 17th of August, 2013. Let this helicopter go by. Hang on a second. Now, I want you to look at some of the statements that are made in this. Okay. Now, when you research this document on the internet, you're going to be able to clearly be able to see that they can interrupt your thoughts, okay, and even induce thoughts into your head. It's done through voice morphing and B2K, the microwave hearing effect, where they morph the target's own voice print, create a dialogue set in a computer, and then transmit the dialogue set using the target's own voice print into the target's audio cortex. Therefore, as a result, they believe they're having their own internal thought. And when they do this, it's transmitted through non-perceptible means, which means they don't know that it's being interjected because the brain can't perceive that it's being done from an outside force. Okay. In other words, the research aims to stop individuals from thinking certain thoughts and make others believe things they normally would not believe. It also goes on to talk about how they can induce thoughts. It's done through voice morphing of the target's voice, and then using the microwave hearing effect to transmit dialogue sets into the target's audio cortex. They believe in turn, since it's their own voice they hear, that they're having their own thought. Okay? That's how it's done. To induce or disrupt selected feature of narrative processing. Thoughts. Okay, an individual just went by and said gang stalker. You heard it in the background. Okay, that's one of the things that they do towards me. Now I want you to listen to this. Okay? This is how they harass me by propping up people around me to say gang stalker. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to prove it right now. Listen to this. Okay. Okay, now that happened on Thanksgiving Day 2013 in La Jolla. What you're about ready to hear now occurred in Yucca Valley, 160 miles away, 11 months before. Listen. Getting around me and repeating the name of the crime that's happening to me, gang stalking, is how they intentionally mentally harass me and intentionally mentally remind me that I'm a victim of this crime by propping up people along my routes to repeat the name of it around me every day, everywhere I go. And 1,000 audio files don't lie. Hold on a second. I'm going to prove to you where this happened at. Okay, you see this tree? Okay, hold on. Now, I'm going to show you today's date as well, so you can see that it happened where that tree's at on the date that my phone is showing you by me bringing up the calendar icon. Okay, I got 1,000 audio files of this shit being said around me every day, everywhere I go. Okay, the 21st of February at exactly 12:14 p.m. If this video is ever used against me in court by prosecutors, public defenders, judges, and law enforcement, as a result of them saying, well, Leslie, it's obvious you were here, okay, because your own video is showing it. Yeah, but I'm here because I was made homeless as a result of my mail, my rent being stolen out of the mail, rent that was mailed, certified mail return receipt from the post office. So go to Google and type in mail theft and mail delayment and gang stalking. Go to Google and type in how they create the homelessness of a target. Go to Google and type in police and gang stalking, courts and gang stalking, judges, district attorneys, prosecutors, public defenders. And you'll see I'm telling you the truth. They created the homelessness to exploit me by trying to claim I'm mentally ill because they think I'm being stalked by people I don't know, and because I'm homeless and won't get out of it, even though I am being stalked by people I don't know. Okay. This particular video audio file you're hearing right here has been played to at least 12 separate police officers in San Diego. They all denied being able to hear it, even though the phone was held up practically literally right to their ear. Okay, so was the Yucca Valley audio file. This one right here. Okay. They get along my paths every day and say gang stalk, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, suck my dick, gang stalk, weird, gang stalk, crazy. 1,000 audio files don't lie. Okay? Now, the second the police acknowledge it's happening means that I can sue them because of the gross negligence of duty of them not investigating it when I complained about it on over 25 separate occasions, at least 2 police officers per occasion, and all the places it's been caught at. Universities, businesses, bus transportation services, trolleys, transportation services, government buildings, courthouses. I even caught the public defender saying it. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to get back to the subject matter of this particular video. I'm going to bring up right now my Twitter account. Okay. And you can go to it. The Twitter handle is at HIGGINSGGGG. I want you to look at the pinned tweet that is attached to this account. I'm going to bring it up as soon as it'll come up. Okay. Now, after I get done showing you the pinned tweet, that's going to show you a little bit of information in it, so you can see that the same exact method was caught being said by public defenders and prosecutors as my public defender that I had at that time pertaining to an illegal lodging ticket that I got. She was assigned to me. She was standing 1 foot away from, with several prosecutors, San Diego, and other public defenders, all of them repeating gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, suck my dick, while she is standing 1 foot away from them, with them, laughing as it was occurring. It was caught by me on this tape recorder as I was standing outside the door of the courtroom of where it was set at, them being 10 feet away. Now, when you go to this YouTube account, this Twitter account, Exposing Truth, look at the blog that's attached to it in the profile and the pinned tweet. What does it show you in the Twin Peak? This is a link right here that's right past where it says this at. That's a link. You open it up, and you're going to be able to see evidence of the same exact methodology being used on me at several places. Then when you scroll you'll be able to see videos of it being exposed 17 months before at a specific hiking area. Okay? Then when you continue to scroll, you're going to be able to see YouTube videos of the San Diego prosecutors and public defenders being caught saying it. In video. Okay? Literally. Now, when you go to this pinned tweet, make sure you click on all links, all YouTube videos, all attached links, and then follow the instructions, and you'll be able to witness the evidence proving this crime is happening to me. And make sure you open up the blog. Right there. The blog's title is UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking GangStalking? Do it. Now, getting back to the main subject matter, why this video is being made. Now, fellow American citizens, I'm going to play you the testimony again of Connie Marshall. Okay? Let me go back to Instagram just for a second. Now remember, electronic torture, electronic rape, technology, and gang stalking at the post office. This is a book. Okay? Why would electronic torture and electronic rape, technology, and gang stalking at the post office be in the title of the book? That's just the title. You wouldn't believe what's in the book. Okay? But trust me, I read the book. Everything that's in that book is true. And if you buy this book and read it, and you start reading some of the stuff and you say, this shit sounds bizarre, don't dismiss it. You're just not aware of how it's done. Okay? That's why you need to research it. Now, so, I want you to look at the title of this book. Electronic Torture, Electronic Rape, Technology, and Gang Stalking at the Post Office. But this is the main thing you want to look at. Right there. Okay? Now listen again to Connie's testimony.
However, they also attack if I am employed and attack anywhere I go. Did you know that they are raping us? With this technology, they are able to intercept our minds and control our dreams. They usually make me and other women and men have pornographic dreams while they interact sexually with our minds and bodies through electromagnetic technology. Yes, they can move our private parts, all parts. My thoughts are also not private, as they are able to broadcast my thoughts, and they also attempt to replace thoughts. Mr. Obama.
What did she just say? That they intercept our thoughts, okay, and then try to replace them. Now that's a combination of what you're going to discover in this link and remote neural monitoring that you can Google and YouTube. Do it. Okay? It's military non-consensual human experimentation and torture and mind and neural control of anybody that complains about it and anybody that's been picked as well for and anybody that's been picked for criminal motivations, because they're using this, organized crime is using this connected to them. Where do you think they're getting the money for all these research projects? Through human trafficking, drug dealing, every type of crime motivation that's out there that you can conceive and cannot. Okay? Where do you think the property and the children of targets end up at? Okay, for federal and state funds. You would not believe what we know. You just would not believe it. So go to this blog, cross-reference it to the statements that I showed you pertaining to Connie Marshall's YouTube video that I told you I was going to transfer a segment of it through my tape recorder earlier in this video. Cross-reference it to what's in this blog. Just type in this blog right here, this blog title right there, to this blog account. Play with the keywords at Google and you'll bring it up. I want you to look at the date as well. Okay, this was broadcasted on Saturdays. It was made on August 17, 2013. If I remember correctly, Connie Marshall's YouTube video was made 10 days later. Let's bring that up for a second real fast, and then I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Okay, so it was made on 9/27/2013. So a month and a few days later. Okay, but let me tell you something right now. What do you think the chances are that Bonnie saw that blog and then decided to make the video? I don't think so. And you want to know why? Because when you go to her YouTube channel, you're going to be able to see that she's got YouTube videos that were made before that blog came out, already exposing it. Okay? And you can go to her, Google her as well, Connie Marshall, Kentucky GangStalking. She's got a blog titled Justice for All Citizens. Okay, alright, so let's get back into the meat and potatoes pertaining to this particular video. I want you to look at this. Now, when you go back to the Instagram feature of this book, also go to Google and type in Beth Donahue, San Diego, GangStalking, Remote Neural Monitoring. Within her PDF documentation file that's online, I'll repeat it again, Victoria Rose, San Diego, GangStalking, Remote Neural Monitoring. It's a documentation file. She clearly discusses electronic torture and electronic rape as well. Okay. Now, when you go to Google and YouTube and type in Remote Neural Monitoring, okay, and you can also go to Google and type in Biotronics and Remote Neural Monitoring. Okay, you'll be able to see that they can transmit, okay, anything into the target individual's video and audio cortex. Listen closely. Fellow American citizens, this is me on a national radio show talking to Daniel Escalon, who is all over the internet exposing remote neural monitoring. You can find this linked show by going to Google, typing in Clyde Lewis Ground Zero, bring up his website. Within it is a Listen Now feature. Click on it, then scroll down to where it says Listen on SoundCloud. Click on that, and then scroll through his archive shows until you get to 02/05/2014. That is this show that you're about to hear. Listen to what he said about remote neural monitoring as he's talking to me and Clyde Lewis. Listen to the functions of it concerning what it can do to the brain.
Reverse engineer it on the molecular level, and just basically how it functions and how they can use it to, like you say, it's all about precog. It's almost like Philip K. Dick stuff going on here, where we're looking at trying to create some sort of a facsimile of neuron software for the benefit of having our own little brain in a box. I think maybe something like that. Does that, Leslie? Does that help you there?
Well, yes, it does, sir. And I want to say thank you very much to Daniel for writing a book, because people need to be informed about what's going on,
Right.
And I want to thank you, Clyde, for covering the show tonight, because in closing, if you don't mind me saying so, when we take a look at this kind of stuff, we maybe can then ask ourselves, where are they getting the human subjects at to experiment with this stuff?
Right, and how is it now that they're able to tap into the zeitgeist so easily and touch on the very things that we're thinking about even before they're produced? It's almost causal engineering, and they do so. It's not magic anymore. It's causal engineering, because they know what the spirit is thinking, the brain is thinking, how it's functioning, how high it's functioning, how low it's functioning, what we're responding to, what stimulus we don't like, what we do like, and what will traumatize us even more if they turn it up. I mean, it's almost like artificial stimulation with hyper-reality. It's amazing. Leslie, thank you for the call. Daniel, more to come from you. Daniel Esselin, my guest tonight on Ground Zero, author, journalist. He's the writer of the new book, Trans-Evolution, The Coming Age of Human Deconstruction. We'll be back with...
Okay, now, fellow American citizens, pay close attention to my following statements. This is just go to groundzero.org. Once you bring up his website, go to the Listen Now feature. Click on it, scroll down to where it says Listen on SoundCloud, and then scroll through all the shows until you get to this date. Listen carefully to every single thing on this show. I have also been on this show on other dates, which I'm going to show you right now. Hold on. Okay, I've been on the show on this one right here, 5/1/2013. On this one, 9/17/2013. He also covered GangStalking extensively on 9/4/2015. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. I am a target, victim, and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as GangStalking. Hold on, I just started my recorder. I'm just now starting to record, and I'm already in the middle of making a video. Okay, so I need to make those statements in my tape recorder. Let's take a look at what Clyde just said in the audio that you just heard pertaining to a section of that broadcast. I'm in San Diego, California. Targeted individuals are put in a constant neural mental loop pertaining to the harassment that they're enduring. Now, that's just one aspect of this crime, and if I remember to, I'll expand on that in a second. But what I'm going to do right now is go back to the title of that book that I told you about: Electronic Torture, Electronic Rape, Technology, and Gangstalking at the Post Office. Okay, and then cross-reference that to Connie Marshall's statements about artificial dreams that have to do with rape and pornography. Okay, the Victoria Rose information that I discussed that you can Google. Okay, and then when you YouTube and Google what remote neural monitoring is and pertaining to how they can create artificial dreams. Now I'm going to explain that for a minute so you can see, so you can have a preliminary introduction. Hear me out, because I guarantee you'll be glad you did. Okay, there's some activity going on behind me, so I got to be careful about what's going on in my environment. Now, fellow American citizens, these filthy, perpetrating, rat-ass animal maggots use remote neural monitoring in conjunction with, but not limited to, the microwave hearing effect and V2K. Combined with, the V2K and the microwave hearing effect is incorporated within the same computer that the remote neural monitoring is. Okay? So, keep that thought and set it aside just for a second. Now, what they will do is take a high-definition, very sophisticated video picture of the target individual's body from head to toe, a visual pictorial representation of the target individual's body, their body image, just like you see me now. They will then incorporate that body's image within specific, sophisticated, high-definition software programs, augmented reality and virtual reality. They will then create other individuals that they have incorporated body images from, or other individuals that they have been given a script pertaining to how they're to act pertaining to a theatric production, just like a movie. And basically what they're doing is creating these software programs using virtual reality, augmented reality, and live persons that are incorporated within them, or virtual reality productions of body images of other people, and then the productions are made to make it appear that they're physically interacting with the target individual's body image. So once it's made, and then these productions are horrific, people being raped, the target being raped, okay, within the video productions, that also has audio, including how the target individual is made to see through voice morphing. Like you hear me talking right now, they got programs called voice morphing, voice synthesizing, voice modulation, where they will literally capture your voice print, just like you hear me talking now, incorporate it within a computer, and then create, by typing in the computer, dialogue sets. Like, say if somebody approaches me and assaults me, and I say, stop doing that, stop doing that, well, that's literally what they will create and incorporate within the augmented reality, virtual reality production of the person being attacked. So those things are heard of the target individual's voice to make the target individual believe that their body image that they're seeing is also saying these things. And then it's transmitted into the target's individual's video cortex as they're sleeping. Now, the remote neural monitoring file that's on Google right now and YouTube, you can clearly see that in the Google PDF links concerning it, artificial dreams are mentioned right in it. It's also called inserted dreams. And they're basically just made through augmented reality and virtual reality, very sophisticated high-definition productions, where they play out these theatrics just like if you went to the movies and watched a movie and saw a woman being raped or sexually assaulted or assaulted, and the people that are doing it to them, it's the same exact concept. And what they're doing is creating these visual productions with audio, okay, and then transmitting them into the target individual's audio cortex and video cortex as they're sleeping. Let me give you an example. Okay, they're also doing this for brain entrainment, so they can for heterodyning, where they're creating productions, okay. I'll get into that in a second, one thing at a time. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is go to YouTube. Let me check the batteries. Okay, I gotta speed this up because I only got 18 minutes left on this particular video file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to type, I gotta pay attention to my surroundings periodically just in case they try to bring anybody up in here and approach me. And if anybody does approach me, no matter how innocent they act, it will be GangStalking. Including law enforcement, neighbors, kids, teenagers, adults, because these little filthy maggots will use anybody, literally. I'm going to bring up a YouTube video right now as soon as I can type it into the search box. Just hear me out, okay? Hold on one second, I'm going to bring it up. Okay, now what I just did was I typed in at YouTube, sorry it took so long. I typed in at YouTube, Terminator Robot, Video Cortex, DARPA, and look at what came up. DARPA at it again. Bring that up at YouTube. Fellow American citizens, now pay also close attention to my following statements. Here's a selected target individual. Just hear me out. Go to Google and go to YouTube and type in optical nerves, nano implants, nanobots, and retina implants, and GangStalking, non-consensual human experimentation. There's a specific target individual whenever they sneeze violently, like you know how like when you ever have a sneeze where you gotta, I mean you really sneeze, okay, you like your whole head shakes when you sneeze, or when they have a really strong cough. One more second. There's a specific target individual whenever they have a violent sneeze or even a huge cough. you shut your eyes for like a nanosecond when you're experiencing this. When this specific target individual experiences this, they see little white dots that are arrayed in a perfect row around the circumference of the eye and within, okay, the array of the actual pupil, of the actual eyeball. They literally see a perfectly arrayed row of dots of lights. They're the whole circumference of the entire eye and within it, back and forth. Now what that is optical, what that is nanobots that have been put on the optical nerves of and the retinal nerves of the target individual. Now why would they be doing this? Remember what Daniel Esselon said in reference to the audio I played you pertaining to me asking him about the Blue Brain Project, about how he says it's actually remote neural monitoring? And he says how they can see through your eyes and hear what you're thinking, okay? Because they're hijacking into the video cortex using the optical nerves. Non-consensual human experimentation, DARPA. In order to be able to see what the target individual is seeing in real time through their video cortex as a result of their optical nerves having these nanobots put in them, non-consensually. As a result, now when you combine that and interface it with the brain-to-computer interface implants and the memory relay implants that are put in the target individual's brain. Go to YouTube right now and type in United Targeted Individuals Europe Extended Version. That's the name of the YouTube title. Watch the entire video, but pay close attention to the video, the picture that is presented within that video of the brain-to-computer interface implants. Then go to Google and type in BCI implants, brain-to-computer interface. Then go to GangStalking, non-consensual human experimentation. Then go back to Google and type in memory relay chips, brain implants, and GangStalking, non-consensual human experimentation, and the computer-to-brain feedback loop. Now you might think to yourself, well, what the hell is she talking about? Because every single experience that the target individual sees and processes as a result of what they're presented with, either while they're sleeping or what is achieved through the staged events of gangstalking, is seen through the optical nerves, the video cortex, and as these events are transpiring, the remote neural monitoring is harvesting them. Memory relays. So they can then relay the pictorial representation from them, okay, to their computer, okay, for the brain-to-computer interface to then store it within the memory functions of what? I'll go back to that in a second. I didn't explain that very well, but just stay with me. You'll understand what I'm trying to explain here in a second. See, there's another feature within remote neural monitoring called brain stimulation, where they will literally stimulate a traumatic event that they brought about towards you, so you have to neurally, mentally relive it. Just like post-traumatic stress victims will relive an experience in their mind pertaining to a trauma they experienced. Veterans, crime victims, stuff like that. They do this for traumatization, where they will literally stimulate the memory of that traumatic event, and as it's occurring, and the target individual has to relive it. And then, as that is occurring, they will transmit into the target individual's audio cortex using V2K, harassing and demeaning and mocking dialogue about what the target's experiencing as they're experiencing the stimulated memory. Like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with her? And the stimulation of the memory is nothing but the computer-to-brain feedback loop, where they're re-looping the memory for the target to experience. Now, imagine you being raped, gang raped, assaulted, robbed, or whatever. Your mind and your body is taking this in, and it becomes a stored memory. They can harvest that memory as a result of the video cortex and the brain states that are felt as the event is occurring, the neural network that is attached to the video memory. They can identify the resonance frequency of the neural network that encompasses and holds the traumatic memory, and the brain states and emotional clusters, okay, and the EEG signatures that were experienced as the traumatic memory is occurring. This becomes one neural network, a neural pathway, that they can then heterodyne and harvest. They can then incorporate and then create what is known as artificial neural networks and incorporate it within a software program, and then program a brain chip to put in a robot or anybody else, okay? Anybody else that's got a brain chip, to have them re-experience that traumatic event in their mind, including all the emotions that were felt and experienced during that time. Now think about this, just for a second. If DARPA is creating Terminator robots and sentients, which are basically the senses that the target individual is experiencing, heterodyning, as they're being traumatized, if they're then creating artificial neural networks that are cloned EEG signatures, cloned emotional clusters of this traumatic event, and then incorporating it within the software and then uploading it into a Terminator robot for the robot or synthetic biology to experience, okay? And then what they can do is stimulate that memory whenever the Terminator hears through their sentience, their audio capabilities, someone talking. They then relive that experience and then will be programmed to respond to it. Let me give you a case in point. Target individuals are sensitized to people saying words, phrases, and to people engaging in specific physical gestures. Go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalkers Admitting Sent to Harass." Read comments. That's me catching 3 teenagers admitting they were put on the 928 bus route to engage in physical gestures that I was already all over the internet exposing. Their sensitization methods, a stimuli. You heard Clyde basically saying that they can make you sensitive to certain stimuli and then use that stimuli to turn it up or turn it down in reference to the trauma, to see how you're reacting to it. Now, stimuli is basically something that will stimulate a neural response, an emotional response, or a thinking response. Something that they have you sensitized to, that they intentionally sensitize you to. A person making a specific physical gesture, a specific sound. They'll even get it to the point to where they will sensitize you just to people talking based on them knowing that they have traumatized you in the past and made you so paranoid about you being traumatized again that whenever you hear somebody talking, your attention hears it because they want you to hear it. You look up and you think, what's going to happen to you today? Post-traumatic stress. They literally create this. Now you can go to Google and type in brainwave frequency list, and you'll see a list of all the different brain stimulation functions that they can stimulate. Post-traumatic stress, alcoholism, drug addiction, depression, panic attacks, you name it. So don't think that they don't have the brain already mapped. They do. So when you're creating a facsimile software program of all these heterodyne EEG signatures and emotional clusters and brain states that are experienced sent through your senses based on traumatic events that have been purposely brought about towards you while you're being remotely neurally monitored as these events are occurring, they are harvesting the emotional clusters, the EEG signatures, the physiological signals, the pictorial representations through what the video cortex sees as a result of the optical nerve being hijacked, and it's all being stored in these implants and then transmitted to the remote neural monitoring and harvested. Software is then created to create artificial neural pathways, so all of these heterodyned aforementioned descriptions can be incorporated within the software parameters, uploaded into a computer, and then uploaded into a Terminator robot. Then the Terminator robot is put in a specific place, like say maybe a wooded area. Whenever they experience what the software has been parametered to watch out for, the stimuli, whenever it is experienced and picked up and identified through the Terminator robot, what is the Terminator robot made to do? They're sentients, where basically they're harvesting. Okay, they're creating what the Terminator robot is designed to be sensitive to. Sensitization methods of gang stalking. Do you understand? Including doing the same thing with synthetic biologies. So this is why gang stalking targets are put in a paradigm of force structured traumas. So whatever is monitored as the traumas are being brought about can be harvested, heterodyned, and then artificial neural networks can be formed and made, incorporated within software programs, and uploaded into robots who will then respond to it. So, Are all these four structured? Now, as far as the electronic rape and everything goes, do you see me pinching my hand right now? Let me check the, alright, I got 6 minutes left, so I'm going to have to start talking fast. Whenever I pinch my hand, the nerves that are underneath the skin are sending that signal to my brain. My brain then says, ouch. Okay? Now, the physiological signal that is used in the central nervous system to send this pain signal to my brain, okay, they can record it. They know where the nerve endings are pertaining to the physiological signals and the central nervous system frequencies that send that pain to the brain. So any part of your skin, including your private parts, had physiological signals attached to the nerve endings that are right attached to the skin. So when they're raping a woman or a young man or a boy who has been implanted or being remotely nearly, well, if he's being implanted, he's being remotely nearly monitored, but it's being strongly suggested all over the internet now that they don't even need implants. When a person is being raped and their private parts are experiencing the rapes, the nerve endings in those private parts are feeling it. In other words, do you see this can right here? Picture this being your private part. Whenever something is entering it, the skin on the inside of the private part has nerve endings. Do you understand? Those frequencies that are attached to those nerve endings that the physiological signals are attached to had their own specific, unique frequencies. They then can tap it. It's called the phantom touch within the remote neural monitoring PDF file. They can then tap those, those nerve endings to make the target feel that they're being raped, including within dreams, because that's how sophisticated it is, literally. And I'll make a video concerning that. Just picture the outline of a body, and then they can then attach the frequencies, okay, to the particular parameters of the biological outline, including the private part. And that central nervous system frequency that holds the physiological signal of where the private part is at is then tapped by them. As a result, the body feels it, and they feel like they're being electronically raped. It's called the phantom touch. Hold on. So do you understand? Now, you take the time to research what I've stated in this video, and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. Do you honestly believe that thousands upon thousands upon thousands of target individuals all over the internet begging for help, testifying before the Bioethics Commission? Go to YouTube again and type in Timothy W. Bioethics Issues. Timothy, he clearly talks about neurocognitive weapons and brain entrainment. And brain entrainment is where it has to do with the computer-to-brain feedback loop, where they're in training a neural response that creates the neural pathway, that creates the neural network that they're monitoring so they can heterodyne, harvest the EEG signatures, the emotional clusters, the brain states, and the and everything that is incorporated within that neural pathway and neural network that holds all of this as the experience is occurring. Remote neural monitoring. You would not believe what they're doing to us on a daily basis. You just would not believe it. You just would not believe it. Hold on. Okay. They will intentionally engage in force-structured events that are designed to intentionally induce fear, so that fear can be, the emotional clusters from it can be harvested. Literally. They then tweak the signals that are attached to it and step it down so they can then clone it. Okay, so they can then transmit those signals back into another target's brain, so they experience fear based on the resonance frequency of their brain. Torture. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. Just research what I stated in this video and the first video that this one is attached to. Extensively, cross-reference what comes up, synthesize it together, and you will see I'm telling you the truth. And now you know. I'm in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. So in closing, you would not believe the physical, vile, sick motherfuckers that they're propping up along a target's route to play out physical theatrics, while certain things are being beamed in their minds that complement the physical theatrics. Sexual harassment. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. I'll make a video concerning that very soon. Thank you. I literally gotta go. Have a good day.